Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
Up. I don't even know if the sound is working. We can figure that out in just a second. Mike, Coach, Sean, it is working. And now, can they hear our voices? That's the $1 million question. Yeah, we'll find out in a second. So while we're finding that out, you know what I can do? Yeah, all right, it is. Hey, who knew? All right. Let's see. What can we say? Avs, team to beat, right? That's fair. Avs, team to beat. Are the Stars doing it again? How about that? How does that sound? Is that a good tagline? Are the Stars doing it again? Habs are better. I said what I said. I said what I said. Isn't that what the kids say?
Yep.
I said what. Am I lying? Where's the lie? Tell me where the lie is.
No,
Hunter, tell me where the lie.
There's no lie.
Tell me where the lie is. You guys have watched it. Tell me where the lie is.
No lie.
All right. So I shared that. All right.
Puck don't lie.
I've heard that someplace before. Didn't Rasheed Wallace say that? Wasn't that Rasheed Wallace's big quote? Puck don't lie. All right. We're watching Dallas and Minnesota. Minnesota just got a huge goal to tie it up. But it is amazing that Dallas is literally doing it again. After getting smoked a week ago, like they got smoked early in the playoff last year against Colorado. I think we all remember what happened. Rantanen went off, all that crap. Is Dallas doing it again?
I think Dallas has to play their game, which is playing with the lead. As soon as they get down a goal or two, is what happened in the game one last year, game one this year. They can't play that type of game, and they're going to get outscored. But when they can crowd the front of the net and play like they're doing here, and Minnesota's just not stretching their bench enough, these guys are dog tired. Dallas can win this series easily, but they can't go far. They're not going to fool me.
Hunter, what?
I agree. Yeah, Dallas can do it, but I think they're going to run out of gas. Run out of scoring.
Can I ask you guys a question? And this is what I'm worried about because of it's not the Ether Bunny. Can I ask you guys a question? And I'm being deadly serious when I say this. Do these two tough series with the 2 seed taking on the 3 seed in the West and the 3 seed taking on the 4 seed in the East, especially with as physical as it's been, is that a detriment to the team that wins the series moving forward?
I don't know how it can't be. I mean, with the extra time that's being played too in overtime games, it is going to be because in the West here, when Dallas or Minnesota moves on here, what you're going to get is a speedy young team, and you're not going to be whoever wins the Tampa Montreal series is going to get a young Buffalo team. It is going to catch you at some point. It has to.
Yeah, you wear down after so long. You can't keep up the pace every other night.
That's what I worry about the Habs right now. I'm not joking. They're playing so well against Tampa. I was so furious after Game 2 in Tampa because legitimately they let them off the mat. They did. They let them off the mat. And you saw in that overtime, there's something we said when a team plays with desperation. Okay, and Tampa came out and played with desperation. But I worry it's going to exert so much energy that, how much are they going to have against Buffalo? Buffalo's flying. They're still flying. I mean, obviously we know about their goaltending situation, but how much are they legitimately going to have left?
Well, but what you have to wait and see is the next game in Boston, right? Is this going to be a shorter series? Are they going to extend that series? Because Boston's going to have to play heavy and play a mean game against Buffalo to extend that series. And if they can, Buffalo could be in the same position.
It really is.
Yeah, you could have two tired teams coming into the next round, and it's just going to be who can capitalize on the other team's mistakes.
This one's going for overtime. All right, biggest surprise of the playoffs so far, boys.
The turd that Ottawa just laid.
Agreed. Yeah.
I know a guy who picked Ottawa to win that series.
That's that could be one of the bigger no-shows that I've seen. And I'm not going to say Pittsburgh's going to pull a no-show. I think Pittsburgh's just out-youthed.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh's in danger of pulling the Red Wing. We have to make the playoff every year and keep our guys, and you're just done.
In fairness to us, you and I called that weeks ago, and I loved Philadelphia down the stretch. They brought that youth in there. Martone has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's something to be said about that youthful exuberance. I don't expect them to go far, even though that goalie, some people think
They're MVP,
that goalie,
Darth Vader.
that goalie,
Yeah.
that goalie, isn't that his name? That goalie?
That goalie.
That guy from Philly, right?
Yep.
Isn't that the MVP? I'm not saying that they're going to make a run or anything like that, but there's a reason why lots of people, including us, thought that Philly would win that series. And I bet Sid Crosby wishes he went to Montreal now.
Yeah, to get that in.
A lot of
didn't
us
ya?
do.
Could you imagine that right now? Could you imagine that?
He keeps teasing it.
Could you imagine? Like, oh, there's your number 2 center, Sidney Crosby.
As long as he doesn't take the dives if he did. I told you, I knocked him down a peg.
I was a little surprised at that. That was
Yeah.
well, you know what it was, dude. It, like really and truly, it was it really was a situation. I'm not being funny, where it's desperation in the other way. Okay, guys, this series isn't going well, so we have to change what we are.
Gotta do something, yeah.
All right, let me get some of the comments already. Appreciate you guys. Good evening, fellas. Hello, Ted. Hey, Windsor and Kitchener. We got that right. I still got Windsor. Matt, formerly of state champs. He gives a shout out. Hey guys, hope you're all
They
doing
moved
well.
on, that's right.
Matt, hope the baby is well. Good evening, Tom in London. Ottawa is gone. I think Pittsburgh will be gone too. Is Pittsburgh win tonight?
No.
I'm with you.
No, they're dead.
When can we get a Martone? Huh? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, we're a 19-year-old doing that.
I fear for the Belegian family when the Habs win the cup again. Habs man will be next level menace. They're not ready to win the cup. I'm not going there. I'm not. I know you are, but I'm not. You're not. But win the cup. Win the cup. I'm not ready to go there. I'm not ready to go there. I'm
I
not.
agree, not yet.
Why not? That is literally my question. Then why not? What is stand out? What has stood out to you
All right.
that says Montreal can't beat that team?
I want that first line to play like the best first line in the league.
I 100%.
And
That's
they're not, it's not
it's
happening.
the conversation we
It's not
had last
happening.
night. We were all over it last night, but that's not my question. My question, not what was within your team.
Mhm.
What is out there that says they can't do it?
Colorado.
The team that they beat 7-0 in Colorado?
Yes. I still think Colorado. I still, especially if Wedge plays as well as he does, look out. Look out. I'm serious. And I mean, I know it's the Kings and all that, but you know what? In regards to the East, I couldn't agree more. There's not one team I look at the East and go, woo, not one. Including Carolina. Yeah, sorry.
First round Carolina.
Yes.
So they're beating. If they to move on, they're going to have to beat this Tampa team, a team that we said could be in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Right. Could be in the finals.
Mhm.
There's nothing that, of course, anybody can beat anybody, but there's nothing that I would be able to say they're not right. They can't do that. That's my whole point. Like, they could do that. They totally could do that.
Here's a great comment, okay? Ottawa is actually not in good shape. Not too much cap room. Brady contract up on the horizon. Allmark, a big question mark. They're a different team with that guy. And by the way, he's not to blame for what happened in the first round. Can I get that out of the way?
Oh,
Can I get that out of the way?
could be the best goaltender in the first round.
They are the Jacksonville Jags of the NHL. I will agree with everything you just said except the Allmark stuff. Legitimately. I agree with everything you just said. Brady Tkachuk, not only through the podcast, but through his play, has, in my mind, Hunter showed me I have no interest in being in Ottawa.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He non-existent half the games.
He doesn't want to be
I don't
there.
think
3 good shifts.
He doesn't want to be there.
I'll give him 3 good shifts, and then a whole lot of stupid. Your
Yeah.
captain, with 3 or 4 minutes left to go in Game 3 in a tight game, takes that penalty. He was idiot mode.
Yep.
Barry even up their series with Brantford, 1-1 going back to Barry. Did Sean make baby gravy when Layton scored last night? So true story. I was sitting right there, and I have to watch the games alone. Like true story. and I texted him, if you guys watch the game, when inexplicably Slav decided to throw the puck over to Cole Caulfield when he had the glorious opportunity. And I texted him and I said, shoot the effing puck. And by the time I was done sending that text, Lane Hudson had shot the puck. And so I ended the text with like that.
Like that, yeah.
Like legitimately. And that's what happened. And Austin, seriously, at the risk of sounding like a slapdick, okay? And this is why I'm making a proclamation, because I would like to think that I'm harder on them than just about anybody. You guys have watched that series, okay? You tell me who's been the better team. And I'm not being funny. I'm not throwing that in anybody's face or anything like that. They have been better than Tampa, period. Vasilevsky has made the bigger saves than Dobish has had to. Even though Dobish's numbers are better, Vasilevsky's had to make the bigger saves. But that's part of what I'm saying right now. Legitimately, they've been the better team. And the things that we talked about last week, you guys, the odd man rushes, you really saw that play itself out last night. 3 breakaways. You got to convert on one of them. They've been the better team. Tampa's pressing too much. They've been the better team.
Yeah. Tampa is coming off as that wily veteran playoff experienced team, and they can get that done. But the better team is going to be.
You want to come on with us? No, you're on.
Yes, we have a special guest.
Who's going to win the Stanley Cup, Lauren?
Wait, where's the camera? Oh, is
Right
that
there.
the camera?
Who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Oh, Montreal Canadiens.
Sorry,
I didn't realize.
I know. No, it's all right.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, Cole joined us. Lauren joined
Maybe
us.
Cole.
So
Maybe Cole.
tell Dinky I said hello.
Yes, of course.
All right, I love you.
Dinky is my nickname for my boyfriend. He's not Dinky. Don't worry.
I love you, sweetheart.
Love you.
All right.
Nice seeing you
When am I
guys.
going to see you? In a couple of weeks?
No, like next week.
Oh, you're coming next week?
Finals are.
My
This
girl.
week.
I love you.
All right.
You have enough
Good
money?
luck. Good luck.
Yes, thank
You
you.
sure?
So
Do you
much.
need to pick from the money tree?
Go ahead,
If you need some, take some.
take apple branches.
Oh my God.
I love you, honey.
Love you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
I think I took Philly in 5 on here in the opening weekend post, but I didn't feel free. But if I didn't, feel free to call me up. Didn't we all take Philly? Wasn't it? Didn't we? You
I
didn't?
took Skinner.
Yeah. I think everybody
Now
else took,
back up Bowling.
everybody else took Philly.
Okay, so I missed on Ottawa big, and I think I'm about to miss on Edmonton. And if there is a more neurotic team than Edmonton, and I'm telling you guys, I stay up and watch Edmonton, okay? Could you imagine being an Oiler fan? Could you? No, I want you to think about that. Could you imagine being an Oiler fan?
No, but here's the thing with that. Again, we say this throughout the year about it. Is Edmonton going to do it again? Is Edmonton going to figure it out? Every year in the playoffs, they have that point where they have to say, okay, we're going to play defense.
Yep.
They've got to do that. They just gave up 6 and they just gave up 7. It doesn't look good. That they're atrocious defensively. You were talking about odd man rushes. I actually got to see a little bit of that game the other night. But they have to make that transition again, like they've done so many times, and say, we have to play defense, and they've got to shut the kids down.
It's maddening. My buddy Mike, who was over here, he'll be over one day during the playoff. I told him, I said, I feel sorry for you being an Oiler fan because it's not game by game. It's like every other shift.
Yeah.
You don't know what effing team you're going to get. It's insane.
Did they go to Jar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What, would you agree?
Why not?
You have
I mean,
You have to.
what,
You
it
have
could-
to.
It couldn't hurt anything.
I think they love Ingram though. That's the thing, and you can fall in love with certain things, but they have to. A man that's got 2 playoff wins.
How did you all like the Lions draft? Who was your favorite pick, underrated pick? This wasn't going to be a sexy draft. We've been talking about it on Woodward for months. If you like shiny things, this wasn't going to be the draft for you. Did they fill needs? I think at defensive end they did. I'm not so sure at linebacker they did. And I think in the secondary they did. So there's that. The offensive line, which was uber important, I think the offensive line looks good right now.
I do too.
I think the offensive line
Yeah.
looks good right now. I had Carolina in 6. Never expected a Carolina sweep. So here I took Ottawa in the upset, and even though it was, I don't feel that badly about it because it's not like Carolina was smoking them or anything. It's like there's something wrong in Ottawa, and I think it wears the number 7. And I'm not being funny. There's something wrong in Ottawa, and I think it wears the number 7.
He also wears the C, and that comes into he is the pulse of
He's
that
going
locker room.
someplace.
He's got
He's going
he's
someplace.
got to.
He's going someplace.
Do you think all that locker room stuff about 2 months ago?
Whatever do you mean? Yes. Yes.
I agree. I
Yes.
think it's
Yes. Especially the comments about the comments about wishing a certain goalie was tougher. Yes. Yes. I do. I think that's part of it. I really, truly do.
I think that was the wear on them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think these guys they're not happy that their season's over, but they're glad to end this drama that's going on that you don't hear about it anymore. I guarantee it's still going on. So,
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
oh yeah,
By the way, can we talk about what we ate? We still have Duroc ribs on the smoker right now. What time is it? They'll be done in about a half hour.
They're gonna be done when I go fucking pull them off.
Mike's gonna start checking them instead of you.
What's the name of it? Solid Oak?
Solid oak?
Solid oak, yes sir.
My gosh, is that place awesome.
Yes, solid
There
oak.
aren't many places that you can say, I haven't had anything bad there yet.
Right, nothing bad yet. Number 1 in customer service, for God's sakes. That
Yeah.
lady sat and talked to us forever, but just not a great selection.
Fair enough.
Agreed.
That's the only knock.
And I was there yesterday, and the case was half empty.
Edmonton seems to be in a dogfight with the Ducks, except the problem is they don't play defense, and Anaheim has taken advantage of them, and Anaheim in transition. Obviously, we're dealing with the McDavid is hurt again. Anaheim has too many weapons. Now, it's interesting. I said this last night to a Wings fan, and I have to choose my words carefully because I don't want to piss off a Red Wing fan, okay? Pat Verbeek or Steve Yzerman, who you got? What Pat Verbeek has done in Anaheim,
You can't even. That's not even a fair
There's no
question.
comparison.
It's not fair.
there's no comparison. None.
None.
And it's funny, I know I told you this. I had a conversation with Verbeek before he took that job. I literally had a conversation with Verbeek, and I know I told you this. Pat said to me, people don't understand it takes 4 to 5 years. And if it doesn't happen in 4 to 5 years, then you have to be worried. I mean, it's 10. I'm sorry.
It's 10.
That's only
2028, 2029, Sean.
That's only
That's
fair.
true. And you know what the problem? That's a great. I mean, the thing is, that's a great series too.
Yeah.
Edmonton. I mean,
It's been the most entertaining.
that one, and
Yeah.
I got to watch a little bit of that Vegas Utah. The last game was Utah. My Mammoth fucking took it to them, but the first 2 was the most physical.
We like
the most
Utah.
entertaining. Utah is so freaking fast and skilled, and Vegas is big and physical.
You got
and
it.
they're too fucking
You got
slow.
it.
And poor Carter Hart was seeing ghosts last night.
And you know what the reality of that is? That was more in vogue 4 or 5 years ago. Okay, we have very quickly moved to a highly skilled, fast National Hockey League game. We really have.
And you've got teams like Tampa and Vegas in particular, like just off the top of my head right now, that look like they were poised to beat Florida. Florida's not overly fast, but they're the physical team, and that's what they were going for. And look, Tampa, how many penalties they were taking penalties? They're trying to play angry, all this crap. But these young teams are so freaking fast and quick. It is so fun to watch.
Do you know
And
who?
skill.
Do you know who you guys sound like right now? Did you see that podcast with Brady Tkachuk? They were talking to Brady Tkachuk, and he said, "I don't know why more people are talking about Montreal." He goes, "They're a bitch to play against." Like honestly, it's incredible. I was sitting there going like this, going, "Can you say that again?" Wait till the revenge tour next year. I'm telling you, Florida is people are gonna pay next year. There will be blood.
So do they sitting right now?
Mm-hmm.
Total theory. I'm just making this up.
Mm-hmm.
Do they put all their eggs in the basket to unite the brothers, or do they put all their eggs in the basket, like I've heard, to go get Hellebuck and not pay Bobrovsky?
Do you really? Here's the question that I have. Ottawa can't be so dumb to deal with another one of their stars going in the division, right? Like the DeBrincat move.
Mhm.
They can't be so dumb, right?
You are who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like an organization is an organization, and he could hold them at. Now, that's just my thing. Like if you're Florida,
Right,
do
right.
you want Brady, or do you still think you have the team with what's his name? Well, I can't think of his name. Coming back, the guy, the captain who was hurt, coming back and get after Barkov and go after and get Hellebuck. Because Hellebuck would look just like Bobrovsky coming into that fucking.
It would be insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really
And
would.
I want to say Hellebuck's going to be cheaper than them signing Bobrovsky. And it doesn't cost them anything. Right? Well, we'll see what it's going to cost them to get. Interesting.
I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that right now.
Defense wins games.
I'm hoping for Philly Habs. That would be the most entertaining. Boy, the influx of youth, that would be something. Ducks transition fast break offense, just talking about that, has been elite. They may not be the best team or win the cup, but if you make an offensive zone turnover, they'll make you pay. Been that way all year. I'll say again, the job that Verbeek has done, I know everybody and their brother talks about San Jose and their future, and why not when you look at the type of year that Macklin had. But if you want depth, Anaheim's got a lot of good young depth, man. They really
Young.
do. They really true. Nick Carlson, geez, that's a good hockey player. If
Yeah.
people aren't familiar with him, holy fuck, he is a good hockey player. Overtime now, I'm sure you guys are watching just the same way that we are. Our buddy Jimmy, I really don't see Dallas or Minnie going deep into the dance. Both have much sandpaper between the blue lines and figure skating. Jimmy, by the way, hope all is well. Is being an Edmonton fan worse than being a Leafs fan? 1967 bitch. I would literally pull my hair out watching them play. If I were an Edmonton fan, it's easy for me to say how entertaining the game is because I don't have a horse in the race. Like that series has been one series. See these bags under my eyes? This eye says Anaheim. That eye says Edmonton. That's been the series that I've been staying up late for, including last night. And it's fun to watch unless you're a fan of the Oilers. I'd be out of my mind.
As a hockey fan, it's great.
And it would scare the death out of me that I'm putting Tristan Jarry in there. Scare the death out of me.
It was funny. I was on Ebling's show yesterday. They hit on Ebling's show yesterday. And he said, all right, somebody who hasn't watched the Stanley Cup playoff, which series would you tell them to watch? And I said, Jack, I'm not going to pick the series that you know I would pick. I'm not going to say Montreal and Tampa. I would say Anaheim and Edmonton. That has been thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
It really has been. It's been thoroughly entertaining.
And in that giving up 7 goals, they were in both games.
Right.
What changed me, because mine was, I was going to ask that question, mine was the Utah-Vegas series because game 1, game 2 was entertaining. Utah, they couldn't catch Utah in
No.
game 3. That
No.
that game was never even close. But yeah, but the Edmonton for the overall look of it is
That's gonna win.
oh
I can't
Bogosian
believe he
can't
can't
move.
move. Yep.
He can't move. He got it right on the side
Yep.
of the knee.
Yep.
Give it to Tyler
Watch,
Meyer.
Dallas are gonna win. Dallas
Get Tyler
are gonna win.
Meyer. Get Meyer on the ice. Get off the ice.
How about
Meyer.
that shift in the second period where they literally kept it? Look at Bogosian. They kept the puck in the zone. It was like 9 minutes. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. Boy, what a huge game. Minnesota needs this something fierce. You're down 3-1, especially winning game. What was it? 6-1? Was it 6-1 last
6-1.
Saturday?
6-1.
You win game 1 6-1, and then you lose 3 straight, including 2 at home. Mother hell!
Game 2 was overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that the overtime or was game 3? One of them was overtime. 2 or 3.
No, game 3 was double overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, game 3 was double overtime. That was
With like 15 penalties in overtime. Love it.
Let me see. Hold on. What kind of package can Steve put together for celebrating in March? Give them all the junior wings and current roster.
I think they could just give them Sherratt and Rasmussen. That should be enough, right?
Here's the big problem that I have, and I've been having this conversation with some of my buddies because some people have said, the one thing that they will have is they will have some money to spend, okay? But somebody brought up, and I'm not making this up, somebody brought up when McDavid's contract's up, okay? How about go way over the top for McDavid? He'll still be, 32 if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's plenty of time.
let me ask you something. What will be the biggest thing on Connor McDavid's mind a couple of years from now? What will winning a Stanley Cup?
Winning the Stanley Cup.
Winning a Stanley Cup. He's got the money, right?
Well,
Where am I going to go that's going to give me the best chance to win a cup?
I mean, you could say, we don't know Connor. We don't know his diet, right? He could be saying, I want the best gluten-free pizza, and it's right fucking here. It's in Ferndale. And that's all he would
That's
need.
that.
But
He's
he'd look
done.
like, was it Krutov? They ate all the hot dogs?
He did. What was Krutov?
Yeah.
All of a
The
sudden,
best story.
the
best story.
250.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's my.
Hot
They
dog.
literally had teammates watch it, and he would go, Krutov, go to bathroom. Krutov, are you going to hot dog stand? Krutov, not go to hot dog stand. And then Krutov would go to the
Hot dog.
the hot dog stand at airports and destroy like 3 or 4 hot dogs. And then he got the big bite in the morning.
Can you blame him?
I like hot dogs as much as anybody. You and I have talked about it for years. Hot dogs are underrated. I don't care what anybody says. We love
Oh,
our
yeah.
sausages. We have
Yeah.
our. You know what? One night can we have a hot dog night? Let's just grill a bunch of hot dogs and just say
They know what I'm
nothing
gonna do.
fancy, just hot dogs.
And I'm gonna bring gluten-free hot dog buns.
Okay, that's fine with me. You won't get.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
We gotta have bad chili to put on it too, like Lafayette or Queen.
Well, you know, I got it in the fridge.
Yeah, let's do that.
I have
Chopped up onions.
I have American. You know how it comes in that little like tube steak thing.
Yeah.
So bad. Shawner is angry that Michigan took 2 Michigan players with their first 2 picks. Well, it's second and third, but I get your point. No, I like Fitz. Isn't that? I don't give a shit where you went to college. I don't. Can you help my team?
Yeah.
Can you help my
That's it.
team?
That's it.
That's all I care about.
just
I couldn't give 2 shits. Like all jokes aside, and I know you're joking, Jason. I couldn't give 2 shits.
Yep.
All right, Johnny. Guys, the barbecue in Kansas City is life changing. Mike, speak to that.
Yes, it's fantastic. I was just out in St. Louis, but I took the kids to a Royals game, Royals Tigers game, and we hit a couple spots out there.
Can we do that for a second? And I don't think we've had this conversation in a while. I remember doing this a couple of years ago. Okay, everybody's got their different variation. Okay, there's Carolina, which is more about like the mustardy sauce and everything. There's Memphis. I love a good Memphis rub. There's Kansas City barbecue, and there's Texas barbecue. If you had to pick a favorite one, you're a barbecue guy. You had to pick a favorite one, and I'm going to cheat. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to point blank. I'm going to tell you. I have 2 answers. Okay. If you're talking about beef, are you talking about beef?
It just depends.
Okay, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm going to Texas.
It would be hard to say because I would go Kansas City because you know I'm a saucy. They do great burnt ends there.
Look at that.
But I love brisket.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do
Salt and
brisket,
pepper. I should say salt and pepper.
and a hot wing.
Yeah, and
the,
a hot wing.
Texas hot links.
So that's my answer. If you're talking about beef specifically, like you're talking about beef short rib, you're talking about brisket,
Virgin.
I want to go to Texas. Okay.
Well, that's it.
If you're talking about a pork product, I love a good Memphis dry rub. I love a good Memphis dry rub. It's how I make my ribs. I don't believe in sauces. I firmly believe if you've got a good rub and good piece of meat, you don't need no damn sauce.
I agree.
Firmly believe.
Yep, yep.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I just love sauce.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Johnny, you're coming over sometime.
Well, you
too.
know, I eat your dry ribs and love it. And
Well, we're gonna eat them in just a couple minutes.
I make one. I make a sugar-free one for Christy.
All
I
right.
make a sugary one for the kids, and I make a plain one so anyone can do that. So we can have some plain ones too. That's how I do my 3 racks.
Fair enough with me. Did someone say Omar Infante? Be still my heart, my little lighthouse. What did you think of the Iserman press conference? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Did you
I haven't heard a whole lot of it.
Did you? What did you think?
What's he gonna say? I mean, to say we need better players to kind of put that on him and his team, but also put your team down, and then looks at it and says we need to expect our players to be better too.
Mhm.
So again, it's one of those. He isn't going to give you much. I don't think he's going to say anything that's going to be mind blowing or anything like that. It's what he's going to say.
He didn't. If you were playing the bingo, if you were playing the Steve Yzerman bingo, he didn't check all the boxes. What I would be most terrified of, okay? What I would be most terrified of is it doesn't sound to me like he's deviating from his course of action.
No.
And that is the most terrifying thing to me.
The only thing that I still have put a pause on my hate for all of this is I need to know what the offer for Quinn Hughes was.
That's something that
Would
nobody
that
will
not
ever
change
find
your
out.
view a little bit? If he packed it with first rounders and an Edmondson, you know what I'm saying? Like if he put his guys out there that seem to be untouchable and that I'm never going to trade it, and he put a bunch of it out there, it might change my mind. Like, okay, he might deviate to get.
Can I say this? If anything, it might piss me off more.
Yeah.
Because if that deal was made, when was that? December? Was that December? Correct me if I'm wrong. And you included a package of Marco Casper. Do you know how much better you feel about that today?
Oh my God!
Like, if anything, I think it might piss me off more, right?
See, that's
Like, what was the view on Garen? Not Garen. Jesus Lord in heaven. The guys in Vancouver would be getting Casper.
Yeah.
that's the thing. You'll never know unless
Jimmy Ruffin.
Hughes comes out and says.
Well,
Or-
although Jimmy isn't the GM, Jimmy's the GM.
Yeah.
And I'll be interested to hear if Jimmy ever says it. Because that you know, I think that's a trade that's going to be talked about for years. And I think it could become even more talked about if after July 1, Quinn says, nah, I'm not going to renegotiate. I'm not going to renegotiate with Garen. So that would be even more. But to your point, Mike, I get it. What did he include in said package? Was it multiple can't miss prospects? And I'm going to say it again, you guys, and I'm not trying to be a dick because at least I've said this for a while. All the chatter about their farm system is Yzerman's reputation. I'm sorry, it's not based in reality. Oh, if he got that puck through.
Here it is.
There it is.
Oh,
It's
get it to 43.
a can't miss prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that interests me is what did Vancouver covet, right? Because we know they're going to, whatever Steve's going to offer, they're going to counter offer with something. Did they want Edmondson, or did they say, no, you know what? We really like that. We think we can develop that ASP kid. And that's going to be a cheap guy for a couple of years.
Like that, it'd be very interesting what they view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I have to cover my face when you say that. 'Cause those three initials just make me giggle.
But my point of using it is
It's on both ends. What was Steve willing to say yes? And what was Vancouver saying,
team.
this is what we want?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it. John said, what is a realistic huge move that the Wings could do. I think with the combination of the cap space that they're going to have and still having some guys, although not as highly touted as some of the slaps would have you believe, but some guys that still are thought of highly. I think there's a lot you could do. How creative is he going to? The problem is you're taking Steve out of his comfort zone, okay?
You gotta be creative.
He's got to be creative. And what he's been able to do, I always go back to his time in Tampa with Druin, okay? You got to trade Druin. Why? I can wait him out. Look what I have here. I can wait him out. He doesn't have that luxury here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that I can wait him out luxury here. You know what I mean? So this is a situation where, all kidding aside, this is a situation, I'm not trying to be funny. He's got to be, is this a word? Proactively creative? Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It sounds like it.
No, really, he's got to be proactively creative.
Yeah, and you gotta think of when you're saying like the biggest kind of move. Has the moves he made been the moves he wanted to make, or just the moves that he could make because no one wants to come here? Detroit's not this place, you know what I'm saying? And people don't covet what you have as much as Red Wing fan thinks that people covet what we have, which again gets me back to that trade of what did Vancouver say yes to. But so you've got to think he may not have, his hands may be tied of what he can do. I mean, because one of the names we're talking, Robertson's going to Kachuk, McDavid, blah, 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 blah. Give me one of those guys that want to leave. Okay, Kachuk wants to leave, but wants to come here.
It's funny you mentioned Robertson because shout out to my buddy Young Justin. We were talking about Robertson, and in case you don't know his background, literally I could walk to his house. Like I could walk to his parents. From where I live right now, I can walk to his house, okay? And he said to me, if all this stuff about Robertson is true, you back up the Brinks truck for Robertson. Okay, fair enough, all right? But Robertson's also from California. And I'm asking you a very sincere question. You're a young player. You're already established. Where would you want to go? San Jose, Anaheim, or Detroit? What would be the most desirable place right now? Okay, I'll go play with Macklin Celebrini. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for that, right? He's so handsome.
So you told you, you're starting to fall for him, aren't you?
Hair team right there.
You know who my Vinny Lecavalier. Every time I see him, I drool. Vinny Lecavalier, he's so handsome. He's brutally handsome. Like ruggedly handsome. Ducks pick up John Carlson at the deadline. That guy is solid. I love Leo. Like, I'm serious. That Leo Carlson's a hell of a... I was talking to our boy Hubie about him last night. Like, that's a hell of a hockey player.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I said last week Utah would give him a battle. I thought Utah would win. Malkin's last game is a Penguin. And
They're not losing yet.
I know Williams, our resident Penguin fan. All right. Kyle Smart. It's time to break it up.
Because if not, you're gonna fall into that Red Wing.
You have to do it.
Yeah,
you have to do it.
exactly.
Well, you could still get something too.
Yep. You could get a hell of a package if you called Kent Hughes in the summer and you said, okay, we're ready. We're in trade. Think about what you could get for the Habs from Sidney Crosby, especially if they falter early. Are you kidding me?
Throw it at the net, Hughes.
Make him happy. There it is.
There it is!
Ah!
Look at I'm
It's
sure
still
learn
there.
how to say.
It's still
Give
there.
it to Hughes.
He's flopping around like a fish out of water.
Give it to Hughes.
They were teammates, you know that, Hughes and Ottinger?
Yes.
They did their games.
Oh man.
And get it out. All right.
Yeah.
Let me try to get this. Mel Kiper said if Jimmy Clausen wasn't the future number one quarterback, he would quit. He was asked to qualify. He said, give me 8 years. That was 25 years ago. That's great. Shawner gave up on Dallas, and they decided to hate you. but they'll Dallas eventually. When I say I give up on Dallas, I'm not picking them to go to the Cup anymore. I'm not picking them out of the West. How many years have I done it running? Like 3 years?
3 years in a
I'm
row.
not doing it.
Yep.
I'm not. You are not. They might win this series, okay? But I will not pick Dallas. I'm not doing it again. No. Tigers are playing the Reds. Is there a classic franchise who has butchered their original uniform worse than the Reds' current jerseys? Austin, you were in my front room last night. Maybe when the Sabres implemented the banana sun. I swear to God, my son and I were watching the game last night after the Habs game. We had that exact same conversation. How can you ruin that look the way that they ruined that look? By the way, I will egg Jack Flaherty. I just want to make that. I will throw eggs at him. We're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. I cannot believe we just did 40 minutes. I was told Skinner was a great goaltender. Skinner.
That was me.
Now you remember the media, Mike.
That was Mike.
McDavid will be the next superstar to leave Edmonton.
But wait a
No doubt
second.
about it.
We're going to back it up. You're not going to blame this on Skinner.
No,
Pittsburgh didn't
they,
play in front of him.
no,
Okay.
no.
We're not going to. That's not. He is not the problem.
Been to all 30 stadiums. I've had Texas, St. Louis, KC isn't even a question, guys. Q39 and Jack Stacks. Okay. I like KC barbecue. If you're talking about beef though,
Oh my
Oh
God!
my
He just had
gosh.
3 shots.
like Johnny, like a good Texas brisket with salt and pepper. That's just that's my jam. Nobody eats that glizzies like Fat Kessel. That's great. How would Evander Kane fit in with Detroit to add grit?
I love the casinos. He's a problem.
No, yeah. I agree.
Everywhere he goes.
Had
Everywhere he
Quinn
goes.
come to town, Wings would have made the playoffs.
He's elite. He is a star. He could have brought something that they needed.
Would they have been able to hold off Philly? Because that's who we're here. Philly. Oh, shit.
totally. He just
Here-
jammed that.
Here's
stick
what
right
I
in
mean.
his bumper.
Out of one side of our mouth, we're talking about how Philly, and I know I mentioned it last week, how well they played down the stretch, and what they're doing to Pittsburgh right now. And out of the other side of your mouth, we're going to say, well, they may not have made the playoff.
Right. And I
Would they have passed Ottawa? Would Detroit have passed Ottawa?
Ottawa was in trouble.
Okay.
Ottawa was in trouble.
All right. Maybe
that
Detroit
was-
passes Ottawa.
And that,
Maybe.
well, here's the thing. Without Quinn Hughes, I think Detroit should have been ahead of those guys.
Mhm.
So you add Quinn Hughes with enough time to acclimate himself to the team, and you watch his demeanor. I've seen a couple of cuts of him. He's kind of taken that leadership role already in Minnesota, like yelling at guys. They had him on the empty net and stuff like that. It could have been exactly what that locker room needed. I don't know. The chance is better than not.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I did to the comments here. Let me
look.
try that. There we go. All right. Vinny is dreamy. Thank you, Hubie. Vinny the copy. There it is. Oh, wake up! Wake up!
Boldy's not even arguing it.
No.
But what is it? It
Ray
bounced
said
up.
Vancouver probably wanted one of the goalies in Raymond. I don't think Raymond. My guess is if you're going to say one of the goalies, then I would say Edvinsson or Casper. That's what I would say. How's that?
Oh, he kicked it in.
Detroit has way lower taxes than California, so that's something. Thank you. Taylor Halma thinking it's 2009 leading Canes in scoring. We were talking about that earlier. Gosh, was that fun. You got to remember, I had a front row seat for Taylor. Puck Everybody shirts from Flyers are awesome. Can't wait till the Wings get in for our free T-shirts. Guys, are you a Connor Bedard believer? Is he going to be a superstar? He's a really good player. I'm not sure. Define superstar. Is Connor Bedard the guy that makes everybody else better around him? I don't think so. I really don't. As much as I like him, I don't think he's the guy that makes
He's above
everybody
average.
around him.
He's
Yes.
above average, but I haven't seen enough of him.
I would go. He is. I think he is. I think he's on a trash team and hasn't had anything alarming around him, in my opinion.
Would you say superstar though? The guy that makes everybody else around you better.
I guess I can't say that because he's not making those
Yeah,
guys
that-
right now, but I don't think he has anything worthwhile.
I wouldn't give him up for anything.
Yeah.
Let me make that
no,
clear.
no.
I wouldn't give him up for anything.
No, not at all.
But superstar to me, I have this argument with slapdicks around here all the time. I'm tired of the overusage of great. I'm tired of it. It makes me. Riley Green is great. No, he's not. Dylan Larkin is great. No, he's not. I'm tired of it. Superstar is there's no debate. There's zero to me. Connor McDavid is a superstar. Okay, like Mario Lemieux, superstar. Sidney Crosby, superstar. Nick Lidstrom, superstar. Okay, if we have to pause, then I'm not sure you can use the term superstar. How's that? I wouldn't give up
Yeah.
Connor Bedard for anything. However,
No, I wouldn't either.
Is Bedard the next McDavid? No, and no.
No.
You can't say that.
No.
Okay, good. If you had
But that's rare air too.
if
It's very
you
easy.
if you had
Yeah.
$2 million to spend on a sporting event, what are you picking? World Cup ticket for final would be that high.
Did you say 2 million?
$2 million. Do you know what I'd do? I'd stay at home, buy crap hookers and all the Texas and Kansas City barbecue I could, and stay right here.
Well, you know what I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna take my 2 million. Because I did it with 10 million
Heroin?
earlier. No, what did I do with my $10 million you gave me?
Bet. Try to turn it into $20 million.
You were right there. No, I paid the NHL to never have.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no more night games.
No
Every
more
night.
late game.
No
7
more.
o'clock starts for everything.
No more 10:30 games.
7 o'clock starts for everyone.
All right, that's a good package. Hookers and barbecue. Are you kidding me?
What more could you ask for?
Will McKenna be the next one? He reminds me of Draisaitl. Where does he go? At this point in time, at 18, I still think he goes number one, but I don't think he has superstar written on him. Oh, yeah! That's like me when it's like I got to go poo-poo. Do you see
No,
Ossinger?
he reached around.
Yeah, he did.
Ottinger's going to figure out who he is real soon.
All right, we got to go get barbecue. We'll see you guys. We'll talk soon in the next few days, okay? Like, seriously, I got to go get barbecue right now. We'll see you. Bye.
Yeah.
What the Puck with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Always Pushing Forward by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.